Yes, good morning and thank you for joining us for today's training section. Please, while we wait for others to join in the next 5 minutes, ensure to go through the chat box and follow the instructions there. You're expected to introduce yourself using your legal name and your state of deployment. For this training session is for those who are deployed for key informant interviews in at the state level. So just the way you receive the message for the consent form, that's the same way Abuja FCT, Ilorin, Kwara State, that's the way you're expected to write it. Please write it as a single message, not two different messages, so we can track your attendance. Thank you very much for joining us. And also, I'm seeing Infinix X669. If you are the bearer of that Infinix X669, kindly change to your legal name. Change to the legal name, the same name you used while submitting the application. We will not accept your ID as X669 Infinix. If you can hear me, the person with Infinix X669, kindly rename yourself so you can be, your attendance can be recorded. Thank you very much. Please, if there is any other person whose username is not the reflection of his or her name, I'm seeing Redmi. Bear in mind that you did not attend this training if you don't have your real name as a username. So please, you have 5 minutes to do that. If you don't change your username to the real name, you'll be removed from this training. Redmi A90 and others, change to your real name. By the time we start, if it's still the same, we are going to remove it from this platform. Thank you. Thank you, Deborah. You're welcome. Deborah from Cross River State, Calabar. Um, Ruth Stephen from Lafia, Nasarawa State. You're welcome. Matthew Adeshino from Kasina. Thank you for joining us. And see Yaya from Bauchi. Thank you. Oluwato for me. Kazim. Thank you for joining us. Ubaka Muhammad. You're welcome. Thank you for joining. Salih Muhammad from Yobe State. Even though the local government rules, we don't understand it because you're meant to be at the state capital. Nevertheless, you're welcome. Victoria Temitope Ayodele, Kogi State, you're welcome. Gifts from Abia State, Victoria Sampson, you're welcome. We are delighted to have you join us. Emmanuel from Osun State, thank you for joining. So we will start officially in the next 4 minutes by 11:10 a.m. We would start. Please ensure you stay to the end of the meeting or the training so you won't have to send us emails. Juliet from Benue State, you're welcome. We can see you in the chat box. Shoaib Abdul, this is not the time to raise hands. If you have any questions, you can drop it in the chat box. Thank you. Please put down your hands. Abdul, Shoaib, if you have any concern, someone is there in the chat box to attend to your concerns. Okay, thank you. Dorcas from Ibadan, Oyo State, thank you for joining us. Yeah, why we said you should write it the way you saw it in the text. Some of us are just writing the state alone. Lucky Nemeka, just Plateau State. You're welcome. Abdullahi Anas from Kano State. Kano State. Or in another place in Kano State. Where are you joining from? Where were you deployed to? Tribe to Abdul Bazua from Maiduguri. I was thinking Maiduguri is a state capital. You said it's a state. Maiduguri, Borno. Okay. Abdullahi from Nasarawa local government area. Please find a location where I know some of you maybe you saw it this morning, but you're meant to find a location where you can have a strong network coverage to avoid you logging off and on. So please, so you can stay to the end and get every information. Keja to for me, Keja Lagos, thank you. Oshogo, Ocean State, thank you. Maiduguri, Borno. Yeah, that's the right thing to do. Victoria Sampson from Asaba Delta State, we can see you in the chat box. All right, so once again, I want to welcome you on behalf of all the staff and management team of IGR Initiative and DataFronteira Ltd to this training session. And this training session is designed to equip you with the right knowledge and understanding of your enumeration protocols of engagement. So, because you are a vital part of this project, because what you give to us can either make or mar the project. So that is why we have to design this platform so that we can release or relate to you the vital and useful information you need to engage with. So this training is compulsory for all that will be working with us. So you are expected to stay to the end of the training. Please do not leave. Do not disengage. Maybe you just on the Zoom app and then you just join unmute yourself and then turn your video is off so no one sees you. You just go about doing your things and you don't pay attention. But at the end of the day, we are going to know those who actually paid attention or not. So please, you are expected to stay in the call, find a good place, no distraction, so you can focus. The meeting will be very, very straightforward and as brief as possible. So if you have any questions in the course of the presentation, please kindly do that in the chat box. If there are questions that can be addressed in the chat box, someone will be there to address it. If it cannot be addressed in the chat box, we will attend to it at the right time. Okay, when you get to the time for questions and answers, the Q&A sessions, you will require to lift your hand and then we'll attend to your questions. Once again, thank you very much from those joining from Abia State down to Zamfara State and the FCT. Thank you for joining us. Is there anyone from FCT here? Any enumerator from FCT here? Do we have the FCT enumerator or KII? Mukta. All right. So please, if you can hear me, can you just give a response in the chat or just an emoji and let's know if you can hear me clearly. All right, thank you, Lucky. Thank you, Choma. Thank you, Mukta from FCT. Okay. All right, we are going to proceed now to the slides for the training. So I'll be sharing my screen. Please let me reiterate before we continue. So there will be no concerns because we've conducted 3 different sessions of training before this one. So we received a lot of complaints from people. So you are advised to not use a phone name as your username here. You should use the same name you used while submitting or you wrote down or entered while submitting the form. That is the name we know because we are going to take attendance. So if you're using Infinix, you're using iPhone, the username of your iPhone or whatever, it is not going to be captured as you. Thank you very much as we cooperate. All right, so I'll be sharing my screen so we can proceed with this training. All right, so this training for the enumerators, those who are going to do the KII, the training is designed by the IGR initiative and in collaboration with DataFronteira Ltd. And the project we are looking at is the Smart Revenue Optimization Platform project. And the beneficiaries of this project are the subnational governments in Nigeria. So briefly, we will tell you about the IGR initiative. The IGR initiative, it's a non-governmental organization that supports subnational governments by providing research, consultancy, and capacity building to improve internally generated revenue. Okay, so IGR initiative supports subnational governments improving the IGR, which is internally generated revenue. So there are various processes and then various activities that and capacity building, consultancy and research that comes in order to achieve this improvement in internally generated revenue across the states in Nigeria. While the DataFronteira Ltd is a data science consulting firm that leverages data to make informed, smart decisions and also to bring in technology into the revenue system of subnational government. So in this particular project, the IGR initiative is partnering with the DataFronteira Ltd to see to it that technology is being introduced into our revenue collection and management system across all the states in Nigeria, including the FCT. Okay, so the project scope, it's very important to understand the scope of the project because you will be engaging with revenue officials. At some point, you will be required to explain. If you don't understand the scope of the project, the objective of the project, what the project is all about, you will not be able to represent the organization well, and you may not be able to do your enumeration activity or job effectively. So it's very important you understand what the project is all about. Okay, so the Smart Revenue Optimization Platform, SROP, the project is proposed by both the IGR initiative and DataFronteira Ltd. This platform is an integrated, a data-driven platform that leverages data and models to help subnational governments make right decisions, smart data-driven decisions as it concerns revenue collection, revenue management, and also revenue growth. So the data you're going to be collecting would help the data science team, the IGR, the DataFronteira Ltd, to build models, predictive models. So we engage predictive analytics to design this platform. So this platform is going to leverage predictive analytics to help subnational governments detect leakages in revenue, optimize revenue collection processes, and also to be able to predict the growth in revenue across the years. Okay, so the project scope, it spans across 36 states, the 36 states of the Federation and the FCT. And this data collection stage is just one of many stages in this project. Okay, so both primary and secondary data will be collected and carried out at the same time across all the states within a period of 3 weeks, maximum period of 3 weeks, as I believe you already said in the consent form. All right, so we're moving to the objectives. So this training has the following objectives. At the end of this, all enumerators engaged in this training to the end will be able to understand the purpose and the scope of the project. I've just mentioned the purpose, I've mentioned the scope of the project, to understand and carry out their specific roles and responsibilities, and also understand the requisite code of conduct and field ethics. You should also be able to understand confidentiality and data handling procedures. You should know the relevant ministries or agencies that you would visit to engage with revenue officials for data collection. And you should also be able to understand the structured key informant interview form, which you are going to be working with. All right, so what are your roles and responsibilities? But before we delve into your roles and responsibilities, it's very important we talk about who an enumerator is. Maybe for some of you might have known, I've done this before, but let's not just assume that everybody knows. An enumerator is a trained field officer responsible for collecting accurate, reliable, and unbiased data from respondents. In this case, the respondents are revenue officials in relevant ministries. What is a structured key informant interview? What you'll be doing is called a structured key informant interview. We have the key informant interview and we have the structured key informant interview. The structured key informant interview is your questions are not open-ended, they are close-ended questions. They are questions that are already structured in a form. So you engage with these revenue officials based on these particular questions that have already been written down in a form. Okay, so but if you are to do KII, the key informant interview, just like that, you can just ask open-ended questions at random. Okay, so it is a formal standardized interview guided by a pre-designed set of questions. Like I just said, they are predefined set of questions. So you are not expected to ask any question outside the purview of the questionnaire or the form, the KII form that you will be given. The purpose of this KII is to gather expert insights from key stakeholders, in this case, revenue officials in relevant ministries, as you will be told the relevant ministries you will need to visit to engage with these relevant stakeholders. So what are your roles and responsibilities? You are required to visit relevant ministries and agencies to obtain primary data. And also, you are required to conduct interviews with revenue officials. So you will be engaging with revenue officials to ask them the questions contained in the form, the KI form, and also documenting their responses in the form. You'll be able to take notes. There is a room for you to take notes where necessary. Where the answer to the question needs further explanation, you need to also take notes so that when we are going through the response, we also understand the context of the responses. Okay, so you should also be able to ensure completeness and correctness of data before submission. So data has to be complete and correct. Talking about data accuracy, data integrity. So please ensure completeness. The reason why we chose you, we hired you, is because we trust and we believe that you will not do something shabby. You will not just go and do it for doing sake. You have the passion, you want to work with us, you want to make a difference as a data collector. So don't just go out there and then collect anything shabby just because you just want to finish up and get the money and go out. So please ensure that there is completeness and correctness in the data you're collecting before you submit, before you even leave the ministry. Should be able to maintain confidentiality of data collected. So every information you're collecting from these revenue officials, it's between you and the fee supervisor who you're going to work with and this organization. And it should not be used for any other purpose outside of this project. Those information were actually contained in the consent form you signed. Every material and everything given to you for this project is to be used within this project and not without. Make sure to uphold professionalism at all times. So you're expected to uphold professionalism at all times. Professionalism in your conversation, professionalism in how you enter those offices, how you carry yourself, how you talk. So we believe you possess some interpersonal skills that will enable you to thrive and get this information that we want. And that is why we are engaging you. So we believe that you will not disappoint us when you get to this ministry by being unprofessional. When you're dealing with your fee supervisors, you have to be professional. When you're dealing with your fellow enumerators, if you come across, you have to also be professional. Okay, so you must report daily progress and issues to the field supervisor. He's going to be a go-between you and us. So if there are any concerns, you are expected to reach out to the field supervisor. And then if there's something we can come in, we will also come in as the case may be. Where necessary, you're expected to write a report on some of the responses. So at the end of the data collection, you may be required to write a documentation, a report on some of the variables and the responses you got from these revenue officials that you engaged. So stick to the questions in the structure. Don't go outside of what is contained in the KII form. Make sure you stick to the questions that are there. If there are any other questions that revolves around there, you can still ask to get further clarifications and take notes. But you should not go outside the context of the questions we have written already in the structured KII form. So I believe you all understand this. And so we're moving on to the next slide. Please, I hope everyone can hear me clearly and you're following. All right, so what are the codes of conduct? What are the things you need to know? Sometimes since you're going to be dealing with people, um, sometimes some persons do not really know how to interact, especially on a formal ground. Okay, so it's very important to understand this code of conduct. If you know them already, it's a refresher for you. If you don't, it's an opportunity to also learn. Okay, so one of them is you should always identify yourself clearly. Identify yourself clearly as a rep or representative of the IGR initiative and DataFronteira Ltd. Carry official identification, an introduction letter, and any authorization documents as required. It will be handed over to you, if any, through your field supervisor. So you are expected to dress neatly and appropriately. Dress neatly and appropriately. You don't dress to the offices the way you dress to the farm, the way you dress to the gym, the way you dress to the market. Please, and also in your dressing, you should be culture sensitive. There are some locations, some places that some kind of dress codes will not give you favor in the sight of whoever you're going to meet. So you have to, I believe, it's at your discretion to know the right dresses to put on, okay? And maintain a polite, respectful, and professional communication at home. We just talked about it during the other slide. So you should be polite, respectful, be patient too. These are qualities of someone who wants to get information from someone who wants to interview. You are going to be interviewing people. So communication is important here. So if you cannot communicate effectively, there's no way you're going to be able to get this information from these people. So communication is very important. Between now and the commencement of the exercise, if you're lagging in terms of communication, you have to put yourself in order and get acquainted. And one of the things that helps you to communicate effectively is getting acquainted with the material and also getting acquainted with the project objectives and purpose and the organizations too. So it will help you to flow when you begin to speak. So you don't go there and then the field supervisor will have to come and help you out. No, please be polite. We don't want to hear issues of exchange of words, harsh words, or any form of conflict between you and the officials. So you have to be respectful. Greet, introduce yourself in a polite manner. Don't barge into offices, don't break protocols. Respect all official procedures and security protocols in the government agency. There are protocols that are there. So you should stand by the existing protocol and don't do anything outside the official procedures. If they say wait, wait. Okay, do not bypass formal channels. Always follow proper introductions and permissions. You are representing the IGR initiative and DataFronteira Ltd. So that is why we're taking time to tell you this. So you don't go in there and do something negative. Okay, so please don't bypass formal channels. If you know people, fine. While you're doing the job, also maintain professionalism. Be patient if there are delays or bureaucratic procedures. This can also happen since you're going to this ministry. Sometimes there are delays too. So please, you have to be patient. Avoid arguments. Avoid confrontations or negative remarks about the agency or its staff. Avoid discussing political or sensitive issues like religious issues that are unrelated to the assignments. You are there for a purpose. We are going to send you there for a particular purpose just to engage with these stakeholders and get the information. We have no business talking about politics, talking about religious things, talking about other things that you know are very sensitive and might actually make the other person to be uncomfortable. Okay, all right. So let's move to the next slide. In data collection, there is need for confidentiality. So you're expected to treat all data and information you obtain as confidential. So you don't have to share, copy, or use data that you collect for personal purpose outside the project. You are being paid to do this, so it's not a personal thing. So whatever you get from them is for the IGR initiative and DataFronteira Ltd for the project. So don't share with a third party, don't copy, don't use it for your personal. Do not falsify, manipulate, or misreport data. This is clear enough. Be honest if requested data is unavailable or inaccessible. You are also required to never offer or accept bribes, gifts, or favors in exchange for data access. Record and report challenges faced to the field supervisors. Okay, so if there are any bottlenecks, you should report to the field supervisors and it will be resolved. So at this point, we are going to be looking at the key informant interview 4. Hello, are you with me? Let me know if you can still hear me clearly. Do we have responses? Can you still hear me, please? Why is Mukta raising his hand? We'll get to the point where we will attend to your questions, Mukta. Okay, the structured key informant interview 4. Are there any questions in the chat box? So the structured key informant interview will be conducted within relevant revenue officials, within ministries, institutions. The actors such as tax officers, licensing agents, and service managers are the ones you're going to engage with this interview. So these interviews are designed to gather expert level. That's why they call key informants. So there are people that have the information. You are not just going to sample someone from on the street. You are going to an office and there is someone that have this information you're looking for. It's not found you can't find it in the gates. The gate man can't give you. So you need expert level structured response on institutional performance, system implementation, and operational challenges they are facing. So the variables to be collected in summary are status of technology. You are going to know the status. You are going to be asking to know the status of technology adoption in respect to with respect to tax, fees, and earnings. These are revenue sources. So what is the status of technology adoption in respect to tax, status of implementation of the tax identification number, and also the status of adoption of the TSA. TSA stands for Treasury Single Account. So I'm going to share the next slide where you will see the form itself and how the questions are structured. So I'll stop sharing this. Someone is in the Margaret Ekpo, I can see Deborah Ekpo waiting to try. So let me share the order. Please let me say this. Just like we know, we're expecting a minimum of 30 persons for this training. And then I know we have less than that now. For those who don't attend, you are not expected to share the link because there'll be a link that will be dropped after this, at the end of this training here. You're not expected to share this link with anybody that did not attend this training. For those who did not attend the training, we will get them replaced with others who are willing. So please, if you're found sharing the link, be it to the WhatsApp group or any other link, please, you also will be replaced. So let me share the next slides, please. Okay. So this is the structured key informant form. You get to know the interviewer. Your name will be there, of course. You have your name, Mukta, Luatufumi, Precious, and your phone number. Date of interview, state and LGA, the agency or department. What's the role of the person you are interviewing? Okay, so revenue, one of the variables is you are going to ask questions on the revenue monitoring frequency. Do revenue officials monitor revenue collection? Okay, so these are the questions you ask. Do revenue officials monitor revenue collection? Number two, how frequently is the inflow of revenue monitored for the following revenue sources? So here we have different revenue sources. For fees, is it daily monitoring? Is it monitored weekly, monthly, as the case may be? You just see for each of this. Now, there are places you enter, you can't find all this. They may not have the answers for all of this. And that's why you have more than one form. And you'll be required to sample 10 to 15 revenue officials so that there will be comparative analysis across. So we are expecting 15 from each, maximum of 15, minimum of 10 from each enumerator. Okay, so if you don't get information about licenses from that agency, you have to go to another agency to get information about rent, licenses, and others. So that is how it will be. It's not as if you get to one place. Are the monitoring activities guided by documented procedures or schedules? They also give you an answer. Technology adoption. These are the questions on technology adoption. What is the status of technology adoption in managing the following revenue sources? Is it fully automated? Is it partially automated? Is it manual? Or in any case where it's not applicable, then you can also take, in rare cases actually. So we have tax, we have fees, we have earnings and sales, we have licenses, we have rent on government properties, we have fines and penalties. So these are the revenue sources you'll be getting information about the adoption of technology. Have they fully automated the these revenue sources, the collection and other payments methods? There's fully automated, there's partially automated, there's manual. So there are some, if it's completely manual, fine. If it is partially automated, fine. So when you get to automation, that is what I was talking about notes. You can ask them to what extent it will help us. Okay. You just take down that note. Ask the person to what extent, which area has not been automated, which area has not been automated. I hope you're listening because before you're certified, when I say certified, or before you are done with the exercise, you will be evaluated. Your response, whatever you send to us, will be evaluated. So it's very important you take note of these things. Okay. So if the term is partially automated, you have to ask them to what extent. You go with a note, with an extra note book or something where you write, okay, this technology adoption has been automated, but it's partially automated. This area has not been automated, so that we can get for more information from that. Okay, so you do that for each of these revenue sources. And number 5, which technologies are in use? These are just the options here to enable you know what we are looking at. Is it an e-payment management information system? That's MIS or dashboards. What are the major challenges to full automation? You write. If there are other things, you also write. If there are other sources, there are other payment channels, you also write. There are funding constraints, they can explain more. Can you throw more light on this, sir, please? Can you throw more light on this major challenge to full automation? Then you write. So that you have information for you are going to submit a report based on this interview alongside the KII form. Okay. If there are other procedures for you to input the data when you're sending, we'll also let you know going forward. All right. So the TSA, questions on TXA, it's only for tax revenue. What is the status of Treasury single account adoption for tax related revenue? Is it fully adopted, partially adopted? You also have to ask them to what extent, which area, why, and all of that. When was this TSA adopted? For the technology adoption, you also ask them about the when. It will be added as part of the questions going forward. So when was TSA adopted, the month and the year? Are there challenges in the implementation of TSA? You also specify. Taxpayer identification number, we have, well, what is the current status of TI implementation in Osun State, in Yobe State, in Cross River State, in FCT, Kwara State, Enugu State, in all of the states? You ask these questions. Whenever you ask them about this status of implementation, is it fully implemented, partially, and the rest of that? Okay, so when was TIN implemented, the month and the year? Is TIN mandatory for all taxpayers? You also know that. Are there challenges in the implementation of TSA? You also write that and take notes. All right, so I think this is all for this structured key informant interview form. If there are other additional notes, provisions will be made for you to write it in the form or in the notes book, like we said you're going to go with. Because we expect you to fact check, write a report for some of these variables, like I just explained. I've pointed them out already. You're paying close attention, you must have identified them. Okay, all right. So that's that about this. We'll be taking questions now before we forge ahead. Please, if you have questions, if there are none, we can just continue. Can raise your hand, we will unmute you. We will ask you to unmute yourself and then you can ask first. Questions based on what we've done so far. It seems the participants, please, if you can hear me, can you indicate in the chat box? if you have been following, can you just type in the chat box? You know, we need to get those who are cooking in the kitchen right now. Yeah. Mukhtar, don't worry, Mukhtar, okay. You can unmute him. Yeah, we know that.
Someone asked, what are the relevant ministries, agencies that we are going to collect the data? What are the relevant ministries / agencies that we are going to collect the data?
Yes, that's why I said your question should be based on what we've covered so far. We will get there. We will let you know the ministries. It's in the next slides. Okay. So I just asked you based on what. So you don't start asking me, don't ask me any question that is not part of what we've explained. So at the end of the whole presentation, you will also ask questions if there's anything we missed, but we've not gotten to the part of the ministry. So we break it down into bits. Muktari, Mustafa.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Thank you very much for the presentation. My question is, in your first slide, you stated that we have means of identification. So I don't know if we are
Can
going
you
to
be
be
loud
given
enough?
like,
I can't hear you so clear. Be audible,
okay, let
please.
me, yeah. Can you hear me now?
Yes, it's okay now. Better.
Okay. In your first slide, you stated that we are going to get some means of identification. So I don't know, how are we going to get that?
Of course, you are going to get that through your field supervisor.
Okay, okay.
We already trained the field supervisors yesterday. We already
Oh,
trained the secondary data enumerators and the primary data for those who were there. So we mentioned some of this. They are also aware of this consent form. They saw it. They are aware if you go to the ministries. We also be working together with them to ensure that you get the letters you need, the IDs you need, and other things. And also to be able to also make room for them to know you are coming before you arrive there. Okay, so all these
oh,
things, all these arrangements will be made with the field supervisors who you will be working with directly, and you'll be assigned to them at the conclusion of this training exercise. You'll be assigned, so you will know the field supervisors assigned to you, to your state. So maybe WhatsApp group will also be created for each field supervisor group, and so you'll be able to follow everything. So I think that's I don't know. Have I answered your question? Is there any other thing I missed?
yes. No, you have answered it. You have answered it.
All right, so I think
Thank
that's
you.
fine. Any other question, please, in relation to what we've talked about so far? I hope we all understood what the project is all about and the scope of the project. At the state level, we also have secondary data enumerators. Those ones, there are two of them. They'll be going to ministries to collect secondary data. In fact, where they are going to go to is much more than where you're going. So those ones too, they will go with IDs and other things. So we'll make arrangements for those things. Okay, let me just continue so we can finish up this in no time. Okay, so all right, so for the person who asked about the agencies and where you're required to visit, these are the agencies and institutions where you need to go. The State Internal Revenue Service, the State Board of Internal Revenue Service, the State Ministry of Finance, the State Ministry of Land, Housing and Urban Development, the State Ministry of Justice, and the state licensing agencies. Okay, so if at some point you go to this ministry and you don't find, they will actually refer you to a particular ministry where you can, but it's going to be within these ministries. For the secondary data enumerators, I think they have twice as this to visit. So the KIIs actually, I think, let me not say that you have lesser work compared to those other enumerators, but it's still okay. It's to enable you to do your job well. So these are the ministries required, and your movement is going to be strategic. You don't just wake up in the morning and start going. You have to talk with your field supervisor. You have to reach out to the ministries to know the right time for you to come. that you are coming. You don't just barge into the ministries like that without them knowing. So your movement is not that you now go today, because somebody will ask. The common question they've been asking is logistic, transportation. It's not that every day you wake up in the morning, you go and come back and spend 2,000. You now go, nothing, you didn't interview anybody, you just went and you spent money. There has to be strategic about your movement. For the primary enumerators, those ones are meeting people on the streets. So they can decide, they can go, they will have to go every day. They can finish it up depending on how they are able to do that within before the 3 weeks. You can also do yours before the 3 weeks elapses, or before even the 2 weeks, or within 2 weeks, depending on how you're able to do your job well. So you have to be strategic. So when you're given a task, a duty, the onus lies on you to plan and strategize. And this is how I'm going to make this happen. So we will not do everything for you, we will not think for you. We will not tell you it's time to go. You are in the States, you are residing there, so you know some other modalities we don't even know that are within that state of your residence. So you should be the one to know that this is what I want to do. Talk to your field supervisor, see how it's going to be, plan your movement. This is the day I'm going to go. This is how we are going to go. This is the report for this day. This is what is left. Like that. You are not in isolation, okay? There are 9 people we have in each state, 6 for primary, plus you, 7, 2 for secondary data. And then we have the field supervisors, making it 10 person. So you are expected, you are covered. So you don't need to be isolated in whatever you're doing. All right, so these are the ministries. It will be given to you. You will know about these ministries, and you also get the form through your field supervisor as well. So if there are any questions you need to ask, you ask it out to office supervisor and others. Any concern?
Yes, Saul said, Saul asked, are these all the questions for the KII interview for participants? Yes. If yes, from our pilot study / test run, what is the estimated duration of a session, especially seeing as the KI might be very busy people?
The duration, like I said, these are some of the things that it's not part of what we are going to tell you now, because it is state specific. So these are the things you're going to talk to your supervisors about. You're going to discuss this. We cannot set a time for everybody, because we have this thing going on across all the 36 states plus the FCT. So what is applicable to Osun may not be applicable in this particular FCT where we reside. So please, this information, this particular question you ask, the very important one. So you need to discuss it within at that state level to know how you're going to go. That is why I just said it recently, that you need to speak to your field supervisor. You don't just go out just like that. Before you go out, everything should be in place. He will tell you, or he or she will inform you in discussing how you're going, the modalities, how everything will go. It's not everything we will disclose to you, because we are not in all the states. We don't know what is obtainable. Okay. And that's why we have field supervisors are our representatives there. Since we are not physically present in all the states, we are only physically present in Abuja. So we are not present in all the states in Nigeria. So the field supervisors are our representatives. So you see them as whatever questions you have to ask, you can ask them within your state. They are residing there, so they will have better answers. If it is the one they cannot, we would also come in, they will relate to us. Okay. So I believe that answer that those are all the I believe okay, you've answered that those are all the questions, right? Okay, so those are all the questions. If there are any other ones modified, like I said, when I was presenting, I said there are other follow-up questions you need to ask and take note. What's the status of TSC adoption? What's the status of technology adoption? They say it's partially automated. You can ask a follow-up question. Okay, what aspect has not been automated? They'll give you further information. If you are engaging in interview, it is still within that question. So what we said is you should not go outside of the question to ask anything outside of the context of the questions in the KII form. But you can actually ask any follow-up question to get further clarifications, so that when we are receiving your feedback, we will also be able to put our fingers on the data and say, okay, this is what we have as the data. Okay. All right. So someone is raising hand, please. Okay. You can also.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, all. Please, my question regarding to those mentioned places that we are going to do the needful, our tax. I saw like the agencies and ministries are almost 6 in number. My question, are we going to visit any particular place more than once, or we are going to visit it and take all the necessary information at that particular day? Number first question. Number second question is regarding those in our state. Like, are we going to go to the places like 1, 2, or 3 in number, or we are going to attend the places separately? It's like, I think I am from Bauchi. It's like I saw I'm the only person here in Bauchi, so I don't know whether there is somebody with me here. That's why I'm asking this. Thank you so much.
Okay. You asked about if you're going to visit the ministries once. So the first question, definitely, like I said, these are not things we will tell you. We are not going to tell you, okay, go only once. You get, if you go once and you get the information, that's all. It's about getting the information you need. Okay. So if you go once and you get to state IRS and you get the information you need from revenue official and state IRS, you don't need to go back there to do what? Okay. But if you don't get it, maybe they tell you come back in a certain date, you should be aware. Is it something I can drop? Is it something I can drop the form so you fill it and I come back to take it? You also ask, okay? Those are the things you need to look at. So these are things that you as an enumerator should be able to, come up with. So we are not going to tell you go 4 times, go 3 times. No. For some, before they go, they already know that they are coming, they plan their movement, and they don't waste their transportation. And when they go there, they can drop the form and come back at a later date to get it. If need be, depending on the kind of person, or even when you get the form, it doesn't mean you will not still do the key informant interview with this person when you get there. It's just to know when these people are available, and then you'll be able to do that. And secondly, your second question, what was the second question? Okay, it's just one person. Are you asking for? I mentioned 9. That 9 I mentioned, they are not collecting the same kind of data. You cannot be 2 now. This KII is not really, it's not a big, will I say big deal? Use that phrase. It's for the primary data, we have one. For the primary data, we have one enumerator per local government. So we have 6 enumerators collecting data using Kobo Collect. In Bauchi State, we have 6 local governments selected from the 3 senatorial districts. And each local government, one person is covering it. That is, we've done the training 2 days ago for one enumerator. So for at the state level, where we have 2 persons, it's for the secondary data where they will need to visit ministry to collect data backdated 20 years. And they have to visit more than 12 ministries. Just said we have 6 here. Then we have up to 10 to 12 ministries to visit. And they have a higher job or tax compared to what you have to do as a KII interviewer. So you are going there alone, but not really alone because you're working with a field supervisor. So if you have any concern, why I say you're not alone is because we also have people, you might meet people working for us in those ministries trying to get secondary data while you're trying to do that. That is just what I'm saying. And then you also have the field supervisor who is also at that state capital to guide you when necessary. So you are not going in pairs. You are alone. In Bauchi State, like you said, you are the only person to do key informant interview. In Cross River State, Calabar, we have one person. One person in New York, one person in Abuja FCT, one person in Yenagoa Bayelsa, one person per state. So that's how it is. Okay, so I believe that is clear. Down.
Okay, good morning once again. I am Salim Mohammed from Yobe State. my question
Be
here
audible,
is,
please. Be audible, please.
hello, can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you, but it's kind of
Oh,
low.
okay. My question here from your first presentation, you say that we are going to get the data for at least 15 response from different people. I don't understand that one. That means you are referring that
Please, can you come again? Come
15
again. Ask your
people will
question
be
again.
from different ministries. And for
Hello,
someone,
hello.
hello,
Start your question.
hello.
Start the question again. I didn't get you. Your voice is very low from my end.
Oh, okay, sir. From your first presentation, I can hear you that you say that we are going to interview 15 people. And what I want to
That's
understand
maximum.
here is,
Maximum. I said between 10 to 15.
oh, okay. That's the only data we are going to get from different in ministries, Abi, or from single ministry.
No. We are looking at comparison here. So it's not like you go to one ministry and get 15. That's not what we are saying. Okay.
Oh,
Like I said, there are some ministries you go. Some of those questions cannot be answered there. So you have to go to another ministry. So if we collate all the forms or whatever you submit, we should be able to get a comprehensive response across. That's what, if you understand what I'm saying. It's not as if you go to state IRS and do 15, and you go to another one and do 15, state board of internal revenue and do 15. That's not what it's talking about.
okay. I get it. I get the point. Again, as from your base, for someone like me that I'm not at the state capital, uh, can I get the data from my local government, or I must go to the state capital to get all that data from that ministry?
The thing is that you were meant to be in the state capital to do that. So going forward, we can decide on your case, because normally if you applied as from, we know when we saw the application, say you're from Yobe State, what you chose the Damaturu Yobe. So we just wanted people who are in that state capital so they can do it. If it is available at the local government level, maybe we can consider that going forward. But for now, we are looking at the state capital. So if we decide it's not going to be at local government level, maybe we will have to now look for someone who is at the state capital, even though some of the state capital are actual local government, to get this from us. Because we just need to get this side by side. If we wanted it to be a local government, we'll be doing it across all the local governments that we selected, 6. But we just wanted to get it from the state capital because we believe they may have some of this information. Status of technology adoption in the
Okay.
state. Status of technology adoption in the state can be gotten from that state's capital, because there are some local government that may not have adopted it. They can tell you they don't even have it at all, whereas the states have adopted it, but that local government have not adopted. So we believe that at the state level, they'll be able to give us a comprehensive response that we can work with, not a response that is streamlined to a particular local government case, because some local governments are more developed than others. So we want to know what is happening in that state. So it's subnational, it's state level analysis we are doing. So whatever we are getting at the end of the day, we are getting it state-wise. Okay. So that's what it is. So I don't know how it will be possible for you to do it at the state capital from where you are. If it is not workable well, for you, you can just, after the training, you just drop a message to us, to our email, so we can we begin looking out for someone else or something. Because I know when we did the interview, we were actually looking for people who applied as from state capital in a particular state.
Okay, no problem. Thank you very much. That's the only question I have.
Question. Please ask a question.
Good morning, sir. Sir,
Good
you said
morning.
before going
Thank
to
you.
you said before going to the agency to let them know. Is it our work to let them know, all the field supervisors?
Thank you for your question, but I believe I've answered that. I answered that while I was explaining that. That's why I was saying that we should all be available here and pay attention to the explanations. It is not your job, like I said. You are not the only one going to ministries and agencies. There are those who are going to even more ministries and agencies. I said it that someone asked that question, similar question, Muktari, I could remember, recall, he asked a question about that. So they are going to be, you are going to be working with the field supervisors. Before you get there, we are going to work with the field supervisors to ensure that they know that people from IGR initiative and DataFronteira are coming to get certain kind of information from them. I don't know if that answered your question.
All right, thank you.
So it's not your job to do that. Okay. So you will just you'll be given proper identification, and then before you get there, they will also be notified that you're coming. But what I talked about you planning your movement is that with your field supervisors, you should be able to know, find out where they are going to be available, and so that you don't just go there and waste your time and come.
All right.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Okay, there is no, so there are no other questions. So
There's one last on confidentiality. Is there not a chance that having the names of the participants might skew the responses? On confidentiality, is there not a chance that having the names of the participants might skew the responses?
the information contained in the form, we have the person you're supervising. I don't know where you're coming from in this skewing the responses. Um, like I said, there are different revenue officials that you're going to interview for a particular question that you want, maybe in different ministries or maybe even within the same ministry. Okay, so that's why we have so many forms that will be given to you. So that the one that is giving the information on this, you have the person's information. Okay, we are not just, we don't need, the information is not part of the relevant data. We just need that for a particular purpose, not as if it's going to be part of our data set. So we just need that to know, okay, this is the role of the person you are interviewing. I don't think there is a place where you are writing name of the interviewer. I don't think I think it's the kind of, the name of interviewee rather. I think it's the name of the interviewer, your name and your phone number. So that when you send your report, we can, get back to you. There is no provision for the name of the official there. I think we only make provision for the role they are playing in the organization. So there's no, there was no, we didn't indicate anything as the name of the person or other information. We just want to know, okay, who is the person that gave you this information? We can take note of the person. If there any other information that you got from other sources, you can also pen them down. You should go with a book, a notebook or something and pen down those ones. So I don't know if that answered your question. We are not doing name of official or something. Just the person to your name, phone number, and other details.
So if I may say, secondly, when a participant can't give us a concise response to some of the questions, can we get other people in the same agency to help complete the same form, even though we are not the ones that we started with?
Okay. So, as long as they are key informants, as long as they are key informants, and that's why we have we talked about comparing, because normally we will compare at the end to decide on to get the qualitative responsive we need. So it's a comparison something. So if you started with one person and the person referred to another person, or there's another person that knows more of that, you can meet the person. The most important thing is getting that comprehensive information. Okay. Yeah, the same form. I believe if the person said some of those questions are yes or no. So I don't know how it, unless there are questions that maybe the person requires, if maybe the person said yes, and you said okay, or the person said, for example, what are the tests of technology adoption? It says partially automated, and you need to find out the aspect that has been automated and the aspect that has not been automated, and the person say does not know, you should go and visit the ICT or something. If you go to the ICT, what you need to just take note of is their description, their explanation of the area that has not been automated. So you can meet with them on the same form. Okay. Like I said, the description of this one does not even come in the form. The description of this one, the whatever you're going to write, the note you're going to take to back up that question is going to come from your end. You're going to write it down. Like I say, you go with the little notes or jotter or whatever that you're going to be using to take down this thing. So if you meet somebody else and the person you can take note of the person's role and then write the description that from this person's blah 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 that this area of this revenue collection process has been automated, this area has not been automated, this aspect has been automated, and that's all. So it mustn't be on the form. Okay, but what is on the form should come from the form, and the response should also come from the key informant. So as long as they know what they are saying, it's not you meet a gate man and he answers it. You have to meet people that know his expert level response. They know what they are telling you and it's accurate. If they don't have every information, they can refer you to another and you can document accordingly. It's flexible.
So another person asks, what if they are aware of your coming and you went and met their absence? Mm.
If they are aware that you are coming and you got there and they're absent, it means you did not communicate with them to know if they will be available when you are coming. They can be aware that you are coming and you just ask them, you just told them, okay, we are coming to do this. They say, okay. You have to ask, the field supervisor will have to go to find out about their availability. Okay. Would they be there? Would they be open? Maybe in those particular offices, they have certain days, they have different activities. So there are certain days they may not be available to attend to you. So that is it. They may be aware, okay, people are coming on so and so, but we are having so and so activities, will not be available to attend to you. So please come on so and so date. I will be available to attend to you. As simple as what happened. So awareness, availability, those ones will be sorted. The field supervisor will sort them out. Okay. You should also be able to ask the field supervisor to be sure that he or she has sorted that. Are they aware we are coming? Are they going to be available when we arrive there? That's what you should. So you don't just go, because when you spend all of your money, you don't have anyone left to enjoy. All right. So I believe that question is answered. I don't think there are any further concerns. All right. So moving forward, so we can wrap up this session. At the end, we'll be sharing a WhatsApp group link where you meet with a pool of other enumerators. Going forward, we're going to split everybody to their different field supervisors and also different states, geopolitical zones, as the case may be, but they are going to join other pool of enumerators who have been trained. Okay, so it will drop 5 minutes before the end of this interview or this training, sorry. So that, and like I said earlier, please do not share this WhatsApp link with people. We know the number we have in attendance. We have a shortfall of about 5 or so persons who are supposed to be here. They know it. So we know they will still send emails and they have not checked, but they didn't see. It's fine, but let them go through the right process. This exercise, like you already know, as we already know, is slated for 3 weeks maximum. It can be completed before that time. But please take your time and do your job well, because we have subsequent other projects we are going to be embarking on, and we would be employing the services of those who do very well in this particular way. And part of the process is, whatever concerns you have, you should always report to your field supervisor. Please, that you have the contact of any member of this team, maybe going forward via the WhatsApp platform, does not mean that when you are in the field, you will now start calling us. You call your field supervisor. We will not take calls from respondents in the field. We will take calls from field supervisors who will channel all your concerns to us. Please, unless there are cases where your field supervisor is absent or is not performing his role, he's not doing, then you can reach out. They will reach out to find out So you also know if your field supervisor is not responding to your calls or he's not following up, if he's not doing his, you can reach out to us, but not for any other reason. Thank you. So our supported communication channels, calls, WhatsApp, and emails. Please, when you're sending emails, please send an email with the subject. The body of the email should carry your deployed area, state and local government, your phone number, so we can call you. Sometimes it's easier and faster to call, okay? Sometimes it's easier and faster to call, so we have to call you in some cases. Sometimes we're looking for how do we get these people, for some of you that made it to this training, we had to call you a few days ago because this slot was not available. We just created this slot of the KII. We wanted it to be done by the same enumerators who are going to get secondary or those who are going to the fees supervisor, but we had to create this. So we had to reach out to you to be part of this. So because we have some of you, we already shortlisted you as to be considered if we have an opening. So we just put, for some, we had to call you for an urgent interview before now. So please submit your phone number while and reach back to you as through a call, voice call. Okay, thank you very much. And like I said, the WhatsApp group, the link will be dropped. Kindly follow DataFronteira on LinkedIn for further information you may need going forward. Because we'll also be updating after this recruitment, we'll be putting up updates on our LinkedIn page. You just type DataFronteira on the LinkedIn, your LinkedIn handle if you have one, and follow DataFronteira on LinkedIn. The recruitment exercise and other things, we will also post it on those platforms. If there are other opportunities and openings, we also post it there. If you need to reach out to us for any concern, you will also be able to reach out to us. There too is one of the places the admin will attend to you appropriately. Okay, so once again, thank you very much for joining us. The link to the WhatsApp group will be posted any moment from now, so you can join in the group chat. Okay, and be part of what every other person is doing. So when you get there, the other information will be communicated to you. So this exercise is going to commence on the 6th of October, 2025, Monday, the 6th of October, and it applies to all the states, including the FCT, 36 states and the FCT. The same day is going to commence. So between now and that time, the background work and every other modalities that has to be in place to ensure a hit-free data collection exercise will be put in place. And other concerns also will be addressed. So once again, on behalf of the IGR initiative and DataFronteira Ltd, and those who are working at the back end, we have Mesoma Victory responding to the chats. We also have Mr. Prosper from the IGR initiative, who is also at the back end, helping to support this training. We want to appreciate everybody and thank you for joining us. Congratulations once again, and we look forward to working with you as enumerators and working with you for other forthcoming projects that we have. At this time, we'll be ending this interview officially, this training officially. I don't know why I keep calling interview. We'll be ending this training officially, and you can use the remaining few moments you have to either connect with anyone, join the group chat, and take your leave properly. Thank you again. Once again, thank you, and have a nice day.